3. Everyone, welcome back to Music with Ryan. Thanks for joining me today. As you just saw and heard, this week's featured lesson is a tune, the San Francisco Bay Blues, a traditional folk tune. And I heard a lot of different people sing and play this tune and seen, there's a lot of different versions out there. And I kind of took Eric Clapton's and Peter, Paul, and Mary's, and I kind of mishmashed them together a little bit. And kind of that's where I drew my inspiration for this tune. And so you saw me do the solo there, and that's kind of a nice little intermediate solo. I kind of stuck to the way Eric Clapton sung it for that solo, kind of trying to mimic his vocal line. And then I also, with this lesson, have included a rhythm lesson. So it's about 15-20 minute rhythm lesson, and there's some different chords in there. There's an F sharp diminished. Some walks down to the A7 there. So there's a few different things going on. I think it's a really fun song to play on the rhythm guitar. And there's two different parts. And so I go over both of those parts and how to strum it, but strumming pattern, a few bass walks, and like the diminished chord, talking about how to use that. You don't have to use that, but that's the way Peter, Paul, and Mary did it. So yeah, big lesson, over an hour of video, because I got the solo written up for the 32 measures there. So the main section. This is just a preview here on YouTube. If you like what you see, enjoy the way I teach and the way I go about learning the guitar, click the first link in the box, and this will send you right on over to my website, and you can purchase the full-length lesson, and it comes with the tabs, the chord chart, and 3 backing tracks. Okay, so everything you need to totally learn this lesson, front to back, rhythm, solos, and give you a great handle on the tune. Okay, and if you really like the way I teach, you can check out the second link in the box, and that's a link over to my membership page, and for a monthly fee you can access all my lessons, and you can get a hold of everything I create, all in this acoustic, bluegrass, country. This is more, I guess, a bunch of folk stuff over there, and I'm starting to expand. I release a lesson every week. So for now, we're going to go over the first few measures, put them up on the screen, and get a little close-up, the left and right hand here. I hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching. All right, so let's go ahead and break down the San Francisco Bay Blues in the key of C. And I'll play the first couple measures for you, and then I'll break them down even slower. And then just remember that the markings on the bottom of the staff are your pick direction, and any markings on top of the staff would be left-hand fingerings, which there might be just a few of those. So, and this has just a little pickup on beat 4. As you see there's 3 quarter note rests in that first measure, and then starts on beat 4. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3. Again, 2, 3. What's going on to measure 4 there? A little buzz. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so what we got there in that first measure, the pickup on beat 4, we have a hammer on. That's what the little H stands for, of course. Hammer on from 1 to 2 on the D string. Okay, and I'm going to use first finger and hammer on with my second finger. And so remember, hammer-ons are not quite like, but, okay, eighth note hammer-ons in this case. We can do quicker hammer-ons, but we want to get into our C chord, because again, this is kind of, for the most part, kind of a Carter style type of arrangement. We definitely get away from that here in the later half of the, or the later half of the solo. But so do the hammer on, and then I'm going to get into my C chord. So think C, and then I'm going to hit the open G string. Okay, and see, I'm already planted in my C chord. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, now there's a lot of tied rhythms in this. Just kind of the way the melody sits, kind of syncopated. And there's kind of a rhythmic theme about it as well. It kind of carries out throughout the whole arrangement, which I usually do with a lot of my pieces or whatever. So as you see there, dun, 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 the 0 ties over to another 0, so that same G string. So that's a tie. The note in parentheses means it's tied over to, and we don't play that note. It's just held for the duration of those two notes combined. Okay, I'll say that again. Some people get a little mixed up on tied notes, but as you see there's a 0 and then another 0 in parentheses. So you pluck the first 0 and you hold it over to the next 0. Okay, but again, it's not plucked, just pluck once, and you hold it for the value of the two notes combined. Okay, so in this case, down, down, up, 1, 2, and 3, and so it carries over on top of beat 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now I was playing the rest of the measure, of course, but down, 1, 2, and 3, and so the next note will be on the and of beat 3. It'll be upstroke on the 2nd fret of the D string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of that type. Again, I should say there is going to be, this rhythmic theme will appear often, and a couple others. All right. Yep. And the quarter, 2 eighth notes, 8th quarter. If it's just a stem by itself, it's a quarter note, it gets one beat. If it's 2 notes beamed together, it's 8th notes. 2 eighth notes, okay? 2 eighth notes beamed together. All right, let's move on though. Let's move on. So then we're gonna get over top of the F chord, 0-2 hammer on the G string, and then I'm gonna do double stop. I'm gonna play 2 notes at once. I'm gonna play the 1st fret B, 2nd fret G, and you're already there if you're playing your F chord. And yeah, you want to get a nice tone and do the double stop to kind of thicken it up a little bit. Add that harmony note. It takes a little finesse, a little touch about you to get those double stops just right. 1 and 2, 3. 'Cause we got 2 eighth notes there, and then 2 quarter notes. 2, 3, and then 3rd fret D, and then up on the open G. And that's going to tie over. It's not on the screen, but if you have your tab printed out, it's going to tie over to the first whole beat in measure 1. Just that F measure. 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4. Ready, go. All right. So now let's put all 3 of those measures together again. 2, 3. If you don't always get the double stop, that's okay. Just kind of keep going. You know, as long as you get that 2nd fret A, 2nd fret G note. It's sounding an A note, but as long as you get that in there, that's all right. So, you know, you get those double stops will come around, but don't let that hang you up or anything. One more time, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then moving on. So measures 4, 5, and 6 here. This will be a little tricky. Just as you see there, we had the first note in parentheses. The first note of measure 4 is in parentheses. So it's tied over from that upstroke on the G. 4 and 1, 2 and. So we're going to actually strum a C chord on 2 and, down, up. And you see there I have marked the bottom 3 strings. If you get a little more than that, that's all right, but I marked there the bottom, strumming on the bottom 3. You got the 2 8th notes together. That's a strum. And then it's a quick change to G7. So I'm going to play G7 like this. Probably the most common way. First finger on the B. I'm going to scoot over just a little bit. First finger on that high E, excuse me. First fret, high E. So when you get to that measure, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, and actually, I want to play those. I want to play those 3 measures right now in context. So you can hear it. And I'm going to start from beat 4 of measure 3. Ready, go. 2. Okay, so again, now just measure 4. I'm going to start on beat. I really think it's important to start on beat 4 of measure 3 and play and connect those 2 parts. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So that G7 is really quick. Okay, just a quick little change. Oh, sorry. 3, same spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. So again, that G7 will be really quick. And so the next measure, measure 5, is just like an alternate bass strumming on a C chord. So perhaps you've done some of this. I mean, I'm going to go over it a little bit here, but. And then your third finger goes to the low E on the low string. On the 3rd fret, sorry. And the strum. That's that measure exactly. And again, you can kind of practice that over and over and over. That's definitely a really common thing. So that's measure 5. Then measure 6, we get back over the F chord, and we hammer on 0, 2 on the G string, just like we did before. And then some 8th notes, B string, 1st fret, tied over, G string, B string, to just that measure go. 2, 3, 4. Last time, ready, go. So again, I had that. There's that tie in there. It's the same thing that we were kind of doing in the second measure. Almost the same thing. It's in a different spot, but the timing's the same. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm sorry, it is the same as measure 2, rhythmically. At least the tied part is. Okay, so let's put those measures all in context a little bit. All right, so measures 4, 5, and 6 in context. 1, or actually, I'm going to start. Sorry, again, I'm going to start on beat 4 of measure 3. Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. Same thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, quicker now. Messed up a little bit on the F chord, but I kept going. I'll do it again since I messed up. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. All right, so measures 7, 8, 9 are like this.